Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 442. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Corey Feinstein.
Heyo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 442 of the Moviecast. We are without Mike. He is working, I think. So
it seems like it, yeah.
Seems like it. We should get him back next week, we hope, just in time for Avengers, but it's up in the air, doing some work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have, as we've been doing for the last few weeks, more Marvel content for you guys. I hope you're not getting sick of it. Actually, this is going to be a very Disney. It's actually good Mike's not on this episode. This is going to be a very Disney-oriented episode. I can just see it now. But we have a topic for us. It's going to be our top side characters. I did get mine in order. It's amazing, a cut I made at the end. For my top 5.
Okay.
So yeah, it was actually a little tougher to get to 5 for me because there's a lot of good side characters. And at first I was like,
it's hard to trouble I was having was like, what do you categorize?
Yeah. So my thing was I left villains off really a lot. I think I did, and more. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. This is going to be a subjective. This is going to be a very subjective list here, I think.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. This is for fun. I don't.
This
think
is for fun.
Like, you know,
yeah.
they're all. I mean, they're all for fun, but this is like kind of like, you know.
We're going to mention some fun characters, some interesting characters, some very awesome, badass characters, I'm sure. So just stay tuned. Let's get through some the what we've been up to first. I think really the most notable thing for me to talk about this week is obviously Game of Thrones. I believe all three of us watch. Again, good thing Mike's not here. No offense, Mike, but you don't watch Game of Thrones.
No offense.
So yeah, there's a meme going around about not watching Game of Thrones apparently because it's like the thing. And
it is. I swear to God, they're the new veganism. Like I love Game of Thrones.
My opening, I had an admin meeting where I work. I'm an admin at a school for those wondering. Won't say the school, but I had an admin meeting, and the first 15 minutes were us talking about Game of Thrones premiere. It was quite impressive. I was like, we had a 15-minute conversation. Well,
it's amazing where it's come from and where it is now. Like, and it's all due to the show. I mean, it's the thing.
Yeah, the worst part about this for me is like, I've been here since 2003. You know, I'm like, guys, you're not waiting as long as I have. Trust me.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. And that's the worst part. Is like I see so many people whenever George Martin makes a post, they just attack him instantly. And I'm going to bring this up, Tony, because I really enjoyed that. Like, I just happened to pop on Twitter this morning, and the first thing that came up my feed was that post you liked. And I'm like, people should read this about George Martin. He's a damn good guy.
Yeah.
And that post was incredible for those wondering.
He can be a good guy. I mean, but he still's got to write his damn book.
Yeah.
Just because
you're right.
Listen, Corey, I just can't be so mean to him anymore.
Corey, just because he's a good guy doesn't mean he's a good guy. But
no, I'm just saying, like, sure. I've heard great stories about him. I know he's been to like every Comic-Con. He does as much stuff he can for the fans.
Oh, sure.
He's living it up as well. Like he's loving the attention, not as in like, oh, I'm like famous now, I'm gonna be like a jerk or anything. He like actually is like going out there and meeting people and doing things and good stuff. Like that's fine. And like he talks about his passions, and things like that, like on his blog, and that's all fine. He promised though that it would not take as long as last time.
Yeah, but see, after the last time, the Feast of Crows, I was, I'm not expecting it. The worst part is in the Feast of Crows, he said that he had most of this book written. He said most of the last book written.
Game of Thrones. I mean, I'm not including like the book people or anything. Things for Game of Thrones fans, is that we're getting a finale, and we're going to get that. So I can't be totally upset because I know I'm going to get the show. It's just going to be upsetting because I honestly do not believe he will finish his books.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give him. I think he'll finich. So now we may wait a decade.
Patrick Rothfuss is like so happy because he doesn't have to worry about people because George R. R. Martin's getting all the heat because he's got the TV show. But when his King Chronicles, when that's getting finished, who knows? It's been like 11 years for him too, or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. Sorry, I'm also getting. As we're doing this podcast, I'm getting the live updates for those worried about WWE of the shakeup, the superstar shakeup they were doing. But so Finn Balor moved to SmackDown. But anyways, so Game of Thrones. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to. I don't know. I'm okay at this point because I expect the wait. And I think for me,
no, I mean, without this, if this show wasn't around, I don't think it would have been as big of a deal either.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Stuff to read, but
absolutely
it's
not.
just like, and like, plus with the show, you get in the ending, so it's fine. It's just
like I think
nobody cared about Game of Thrones until the show came up. I mean, I
said this. I said this in the meeting. My work meeting. I mentioned that I'm like, I'm just happy that we're going to get a finale, and it's not like. I'm like, I've been waiting since 2003 for this story to come, to see something, to see reunions that we just got. And that, I'm trying to keep, this is a spoiler free. I'm sorry, everybody. But I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I've been waiting forever for a lot of these things. Now, I do wish that the show had not done to the dire wolves or whatever, the Stark wolves, what they did to them. But I wish they were more in the story here, especially now. I don't
understand how HBO just doesn't have like a near limitless budget for Game of Thrones. Like within reason, it's like,
how many subscribers did they get this weekend?
Oh, I subscribe.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'd say 7 out of 10 people that are watching it are probably new subscribers this weekend.
Just to tie this in real quick, where's that numbers here? Game of Thrones season 8 premiere season sets the new record for ratings and streaming.
I have to imagine like 66% of the users that are watching this show are newly subscribed people just for Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
it's like, come on, this show is.
Everybody. I mean, the record was watched by 17.4 million viewers. The previous series high was 16.9. So there's more and more now because it's the end. And I think a lot of shows, when they do this, like, this is why shows need to have a story and finish properly. I think if you have that, it helps your story because you know where you're getting to, you're going. You're not just trying to carry on each season and keep the show going. I'm not trying to refer to any, I'm not trying to make fun of any zombie related show that happens to be on TV still, but,
I appreciate them like not waiting for him and just trying to put filler episodes in that don't matter. Because like you see that with anime all the time.
Yeah, I mean, not happy with what they did with Barristan Selmy, but Barristan the Bold.
I mean, there's obviously
a lot of stuff that
any TV or movie adaptation of a book is going to be cutting things. And things
literally
that,
just too many characters, but anyway, so the first episode was great. I really enjoyed it. I saw people that didn't like it, and I'm like, what do you people want in a premiere?
I can understand. I enjoyed it because I was getting what I wanted out of a lot of it.
Sure,
a lot of it was reunion, like character reunion.
It was almost a shot-for-shot recreation of season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1.
Sure, but like
that ending, dude.
The thing is, for me, is
we all talked
reversal. What?
Yeah.
That fucking ending where Jamie just gets off his horse.
Wait, are we doing spoilers?
I don't think we should do spoilers.
Okay, we're not doing spoilers.
I don't know.
The memes coming out of this episode.
It's only been a couple days.
Did you see I watched some posts on Facebook of this dog looking out the window. And did you see that one where the dog follows the guy and he writes Bran down at the bottom?
Yeah.
In the dog's happy window.
This is funny because I don't think it's a spoiler, but Sam comes out and sees Bran sitting in the courtyard, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm waiting for a friend,
an old friend."
He's like, "Okay, I guess gonna wait here for an old friend." Okay,
I do love those references.
An old friend is, and it's like, "Oh shit."
I've seen that to the curb.
You know what? Fuck this, guys. For the next few minutes, guys, there's going to be spoilers in this episode. Just to hell with this. Let's just do this. Yeah. For the next, let's say, give ourselves three minutes. 3 minutes. I'm timing it.
Right.
Go. So yes, I think that I got the timer going. Right. So yeah, I mean that ending with him just staring at Bran, and it's just like, oh fuck. I
wish that, not that I wish, but it would have been hilarious. Bran just goes, "The things I do for love," and just like,
yeah. Oh, I mean, and that's where I thought Sam was so good in this episode with that. Like Bran does whatever he does to know what he knows.
No, it was, I really appreciate, like, it was almost like a shot for shot recreation of the first episode, and with even going down into the crypt area and having those conversations, obviously,
I know,
are different, but it's like, and then with Sansa saying that, having the conversation with Tyrion and stuff. It's just all these different shots with different people, different circumstances, but like the shots are very similar and things like that.
For me, for someone who's been waiting for reunions in the books for as long as I have been, this episode was amazing for me. Like, I'm like, this is, I'm
not
finally
the only one though, Jim. Like, I've been waiting this as long.
I know, but I'm just saying that, like, I that's why I said it was great, because I was looking for these reunions.
But some of them were really like, because you do get like the Golden Company, and it's like, this is just like we're just gonna throw these people in here, and so it's really weird.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think
I can totally understand though. Like, sorry, the one gripe is like
minute 30.
I get it. We got this whole thing. Oh, this isn't spoiler, but like, so we have 5 episodes left. Like, 5 episodes to resolve all this shit, and I'm just like, I honestly don't see how it's possible.
Well, it's Winterfell. Winterfell's clearly the key here. This is where this battle is going to take place.
Well, that's the thing is like, I mean, even the preview, you kind of see like, oh, shit's going to start going down. It has to start happening soon. Like,
well, the thing
I
is,
feel like this is the calm before the storm. Like,
yeah,
and this episode, and then it's just going to start like.
All the other episodes are at least 10 to 15 minutes longer, and then the last 2 episodes are 80 minutes
like
long. They're both 80 minutes long. The last 2 episodes. So we're going to get almost an extra episode after this in time. Essentially,
they're like, it's funny because it's like, make sure you push it an extra month. We need more of these subscribers to stick around.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know.
The one thing,
good.
The one thing I thought was interesting was I saw a fan theory or whatever, where apparently one episode airs on Mother's Day.
Oh,
this year, and a couple of years ago when an episode aired on Father's Day, it was a big.
Thing
happening. So I was like, interesting.
I don't know. I can't wait to discuss this. We will definitely.
Last thing, real quick. Spoiler. When Cersei was
25.
like, she was like, if you want a whore, go buy her. If you want a queen, earn her. I was like, wow, respect Cersei. And then she starts walking away, and she stops. I'm like, you bitch, like. You bitch. Oh yeah, just keep walking.
5, 4. Okay, we're out of spoilers. No more spoilers. All right, so but it was a good episode, and I would recommend obviously watching it. And I can't wait for this season. We will do a full spoiler cast in this season when it's finished. Without doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so look for that. All right, let's get into else. Go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, like, obviously, John knows who he really is, right? Like, he does not believe it. Like, he's got to know.
I don't know.
He has
to
know. The character that told him, like, that's the one character he would believe.
Right, and that's what Bran says. It's like, and so he's got to know. It's just like, so you hear it, because I think he kind of knows it before. Like, he kind of has a feeling like something's different about him, but like here he's flat out told, and it's like, shit. It's like you just gotta see it on his face.
I mean, he took it pretty well, like he didn't react. Before we move off of Game of Thrones, there's one tweet I really enjoyed from John Ehrlichman. It said things that didn't exist when first Game of Thrones episode aired back in 2011: Snapchat, Lyft, Slack, Siri, Twitch, Tinder, Fortnite, Medium, Uber Eats, Apple Maps, Amazon Alexa, Facebook Messenger, Apple Music, Candy Crush, Microsoft Surface, Tesla Model S, Apple Watch, Google Home, DJI Phantom, Oculus Rift. So
it's been a
long, crazy ride.
Yeah. So
with Kit Harington was pretty good. The opening monologue. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't see that yet. I got to watch that.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. All right. Anything else of note to talk about for what we've watched, Corey?
Not of note. No.
Tony?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've seen The Expanse more, but I'm not only on episode 7, so we're still early. All right. Let's get into the box office, which I don't even have open because I'm amateuring it up tonight.
It was a bad week.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares about
Shazam? Shazam had a good hold. I mean, 25 million. I mean, that's a pretty good 55% drop, roughly, I think it was. Right? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Then you had Little at 15, Hellboy. What a bomb. This is what. Okay.
Did anybody think it was going to be good though?
No, I mean, I actually thought the movie was going to be good but not do well, and now I'm actually shocked the movie is this shit. Like, did I want a reboot? Absolutely.
The trailer just like screamed The Mummy to me.
That's like, what the vibe. I mean, yeah. So 12.2 million for that movie somehow brought that in. I don't even know. Pet Sematary was at 9.8 and Dumbo at 9.4. So we are in a lull until the big one. I mean, there's really nothing next week too. So week after though, fireworks. So look out, 300 million. Look out. I'm going to mention it again in this one because I really, really stand by that statement.
Yep, 300 million domestic, 1 billion worldwide.
It's tracking really well in China. It really is, and that's incredible. If it's tracking in China, for this thing, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So, all right,
it could do easily probably like 400 million alone in China.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that's the question. Does this movie get to 2 billion?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think it does.
Wait, Infinity War did, right?
Did it? Oh, I don't
No.
know. We had a couple of movies, right? I think we had. One of my bold predictions was we're gonna have like multiple 2 billion movies or something.
I don't even know.
Yeah, Infinity War, 2 million.
Okay,
2 billion. 2 billion.
2 billion. Yeah, we know. What you
so then, like, it's another one. I guess that was because I couldn't remember if we got to 2 billion or not. So
well, this one will do like
it's easily going to get 2 billion now. I mean, Infinity War is getting it. This movie's going to surpass that.
I mean, getting into the next bit of news here, we have episode 9's teaser trailer came out, and that's another movie I think is going to track for 2 billion this year. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm just going to make that prediction. I think it will.
I think so.
I think it's the rise of Skywalker.
You put Skywalker in a title, and I think you sell tickets. I think you sell tickets. I don't mind the title as long as it pans out the way I think, not the way Tony thinks. But yeah, I mean, Tony, that you have a very popular theory right now with this. So we saw the teaser. What was the theory you had that Rise of Skywalker? What do you think that meant?
Well, this is the just a follow up to what I said after Last Jedi came out was how Rey was in the thick of it, and someone who wasn't didn't have like preconceived notions of like Force and dark side and light side. She can be in an area now where like it's like they talk about the balance of the Force, and it's like Jedi, you're like more on the light side, and if you're Sith, you're obviously more on the dark side. It's like you're not living a life of balance, really, stuff like that. So I still think that we're going to go with like, I don't know. I think the previous term was like the gray Jedi or whatever like that. And I think that's what the term Skywalker is going to mean after this, where Rey will initiate an order where you learn to use both the light and dark side because you can't have one without the other. So that's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah,
I don't like the idea of Skywalker calling yourself Skywalker.
That's why I don't like that either. I mean, the Jedi. First of all, let's go with marketing here. The Jedi name is a big marketable name. You're not going to try to get rid of that as a marketing item, and that's my biggest argument, Tony, against this is marketing. Yeah, and that's what sells. That's what they want. So
you're not wrong, but at the same time, they said this is the end of the saga.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is like. Then you're just all the movies after that, everybody's gonna be calling themselves Skywalker, and it's like, oh no, I'm trying to get away from this shit.
Yeah, I mean, is that the theory that Rey just calls herself Rey Skywalker going forward? Yeah, I don't know.
No,
well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if the Jedi start to refer themselves, well, no. I took this. Is that what you think it's gonna be like a title? I think it's gonna be more like the last name used. If they become a Jedi, they become a Skywalker.
I think it's more the fact that like they're like a Skywalker as a Force user is a Skywalker now.
Yeah, no, I see, but you're right. But I think that no, this is the only other. I personally think this is more about a legacy of the Skywalker. But if we're gonna dive down this hole of them using the Skywalker name, I think it's more like they call themselves like Finn Skywalker and Rey Skywalker, and they just starts to adopt the last name essentially as their title, like as their Jedi. So they're all Skywalkers if they become a Jedi. They'll still be called Jedis, but they'll be Skywalkers. So as I just mentioned,
that's even worse than.
I don't know. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I told you I think this is about the legacy.
No, again, I don't like it. So, but I'd rather not like it beforehand and love it after. Instead of being like so hyped for it and then hate it after.
But let's talk about this teaser.
I'm trying to pull my hype meter down.
So now last year, Corey and I missed all these teasers and trailers. This year, we're not doing that. I'm very happy to not be doing that right now because I love this teaser. I absolutely love the second the Leia music kicked in. Like that to me, that's the Leia music that they used in this teaser. The Princess Leia theme, really. The second that kicked in, I was like chills. I had chills. I was like giddy as a kid. I was just like, this is awesome. I can't wait for this movie. And
then that ending.
And then, oh gosh, yeah. And then the ending. And then I was like, wait, what
I didn't like that.
What did never dies.
Yeah, I mean,
is the Greyjoy saying?
The Greyjoy saying, yeah. But the thing is like, if you were at Star Wars Celebration, it was even more impactful because he came out on stage, and you're just like, holy shit. And I was reading about this now. This has been planned. I mean, apparently J.J. Abrams wanted him somehow. I don't know how he's going to be in this movie. but he's going to be in this movie. It's just a matter of how. And he had this plan. Yeah, he had this planned originally when he wrote Force Awakens.
This is one of those things where like I'm skeptical because I hated the Emperor to begin with. I thought he was just so hokey. Like, just we don't see him till the third.
You know what's crazy?
Really ruined him.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that's what happened. It really hurt his character more with making him like the way he was as a senator. And I feel like the Emperor in the first four, 4, 5,
even
6.
About the original or the prequel trilogy. I'm just talking about the original trilogy.
Okay,
it's just like. Yeah, I just like it's just like the man behind the man. It's like, all right, guess like you shoot lightning out, like okay, bro, like you're scary, whatever. But I just feel again like he's not really a particularly good villain in my opinion, and especially the prequel trilogy didn't help his case at all. But it just feels like this is a retread of Force Awakens again, where it's like you have the parallelisms between New Hope and Force Awakens, and what we're bringing back the Emperor. Is it going to be like Return of the Jedi to, Rise of Skywalker?
Well, I mean, in the teaser, they have looks like the Death Star crashed down on the planet there, so.
That's Endor, apparently.
Is that Endor? Really? Wow. There's water in Endor? I don't know. I guess when you have a big thing the size of the moon crash into you, you change as a planet.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just feels like, obviously I don't know anything, but it just feels like they would have to go through a lot of hoops to justify bringing him back, making it believable and not more hokey. Like, oh yeah, that was a clone on the Death Star 2. It was I was just gathering power and staying quiet for 50 years or however long it's been since Return of the Jedi. It's like, okay.
Well, what's it gonna do with this? We don't know. We don't know. This could be a clone. This could be a ghost, Force ghost, waiting in the wings for somebody that he can talk to that he thinks would be the one to talk to for
what would you like to see?
I think a Force ghost is the right way to see it. Okay. Especially because I'm expecting a good amount of, even though we've been told it's only a cameo, I expect a good amount of Mark Hamill Force ghost in this as well. It's kind of paralleling each other, just like the Force always does.
Yeah.
And I think that's the idea. You have two major Force ghosts. You have two major players there, Jedi and Sith or whatever. So I think Ben's finally getting instructions from the Emperor as a Force ghost. That's my theory. But that's my theory. We'll see. I mean, I love. We need to like mark this as like Star Wars Episode 9, so we can come back and just listen to these theories back at when Christmas hits. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I'm very happy at the time it's coming out.
Day one, absolutely, yeah, for sure. I'm just like,
yeah. So
I mean, definitely for me, it's not like I'm just again trying to temper my expectations.
Sure, and I need to rein my back in too, and I understand that. But just give me time.
I just was not very excited. This didn't get me that excited.
Oh, this got me very excited. So I need to come back down to earth with mine and just. I think like Last Jedi for me, the entire time I was like, please don't kill Luke, please don't kill Luke, please don't get the entire time, and that's why I think I enjoyed it more. I saw it the second time and I enjoyed it far more. So I don't want that to happen in this. I don't want to have any preconception of what I want out of my head. I just want to like watch this, which is crazy because we did the no trailers or news, so we didn't have those preconceived ideas, but it happened, and that means yeah. So yeah, never going to do it again. All right, let's get into Disney Plus. Disney Plus was announced last week on a shareholders call. Yeah, shareholders call. So yeah, man,
that thing popped the stock.
Oh, I mean, when you announce a service like this for $6.99 a month, and then there's an annual I heard for $69.99. Holy shit! Like, I don't care who you are, streaming services, you have to worry because, I mean, Apple has to be more. Netflix doesn't have to worry. Netflix has their own stuff and they're fine. And Hulu's established too. But like Apple and all these other people that are just getting started on this thing, you gotta be.
It's all about the content. Like it's all about what you can offer.
And that's what I'm saying.
Disney owns everything, so it's
Disney,
like you can offer what people want.
It's like Disney has been just money hatting all this stuff, compiling it, getting it all together, and then just boom. It's just like, here it is. So we're gonna get like exclusive Marvel stories. We're gonna get what if. I love this what if idea for the comic stuff they're doing. I think that's an awesome idea. And then what's your post? Is this your post on the Solo Hawkeye MCU Cosmic? Is that what
the Kate Bishop comic? I'd be interested to see if they do that.
Yeah, I mean, is this going to be a comic, or is this part of Disney Plus there, Tony?
No, it's
No,
going to
it's
be the
Disney
TV show.
Oh, okay, good.
show.
Okay, good.
So I'm
I didn't
saying,
read
I
the
hope
book.
they do the Bishop comic because I thought it was a pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean,
book.
you're getting these solo short series things of like Vision, of Hawkeye now, of I mean, the Star Wars thing is an actual show. It's Mandalorian. It's going to be an actual show with multiple seasons. But I think a lot of these things are going to be more of like a
mini series.
the mini series thing that they do, where they get you like a little hype on the side. The webisodes they do on things. I feel like these will be like, I mean, those will be full episodes, but they'll be like kind of like that same feel. They're going to tie into the Marvel universe. They're going to advance character stories, but like only to the like certain point. It's only like cool stuff you need to know. I don't think anything major is going to happen in these series. I think it'll be more like, oh, I saw this guy do this and this and this and this, and that's why he's a friend in this movie. Otherwise, you're watching the movie, you never saw it. It just happens to be a friend he's there with. You know, something like that. I don't think it'd be anything major impactful to the stories.
Well, I think what I hope for is that it's the same, not necessarily as impactful, but the same idea as when, Winter Soldier came out and S.H.I.E.L.D., those things had consequences for each other.
See, I think that
like consequences.
Yeah, but I feel like this is going to be more about like advancing certain characters, like Hawkeye and his family, or something like that. In this, I don't know.
Expanding. It sounds like it's expanding on characters because all these shows that we know about so far, except for the Hawkeye one, it seems like are kind of like maybe
deceased characters. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying like maybe not necessarily like when we think they're going to take place.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I mean, this service
is about him going through different time periods or something like that.
Oh,
and
okay.
Like,
I mean,
maybe like interfering with like human like events in human history or something like that.
This just reminded me, just to warn everybody who's listening right now, if you're listening or watching, just if you're watching this on YouTube, heads up. Tony mentioned yesterday that somebody managed to get their hands on footage of Endgame and is spoiling it for people on YouTube. I'm sure it's spreading around. So just be careful. Put on the filters if you have that stuff to kind of hide in-game things, because you got another week to get through all this. And I know Twitter I did that with already, so I have to be careful on YouTube. But so just be careful. But so back to Disney Plus. This looks like an amazing service, and it's going to have all their catalog of their library of everything. So $6.99 a month.
Fox.
And Fox, you get day one. Like every episode of The Simpsons.
Yep.
Day one. And they just got Fox. It just ended. They just got it. It's amazing. That service by itself could be worth $7 a month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. But, I mean, impressive. Very impressive from this.
Especially considering most every other streaming service out there has been higher.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes,
and raising prices.
I expected $10 a month. I really did expect $10.
I mean, you think about like HBO, and that's $15 a month.
Yeah,
and like Netflix is getting close to that now.
Yeah,
and so like Hulu, like with no commercials, is like $12 a month, something like that.
Yeah. So I
everything's
think
over that $10 mark, and I thought at $10 would be a no-brainer, but like $7, like
yeah, at $7 I'm subscribing, and I'm doing annual immediately with this show.
Why not?
That's what it did. I mean, for $70 I'm going to do annual. So it's impressive. Well, it comes out November 15th. We didn't mention that yet, so look for that. All right, anything more to mention on this? Good. All right, let's get into our topic of the night, which is the top 5 side characters in the Marvel MCU universe. So yeah, I had, and I'll start this off because I mentioned it in our chat. I was like, why do I have Coulson on a list of things? And I couldn't remember what our topic was. I know I wrote all these characters down. I'm like, what the hell was the topic we picked? I wrote, and you mentioned the side characters. I'm like, that's what this list is. So I actually removed Coulson from my list because he was originally on there. Because then I was like looking at it, I'm like, these characters are all, I think I enjoy all of them better. And yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm like, my characters are really awesome. I'll start off, and this is the arguable one, and this one right here, you could definitely argue with me with Coulson, because I was like, but I think he's so cool, and it's Heimdall.
Oh, he's number 5 for me too.
Oh wow, and he's such a great character, like all like massive, powerful character who had a major part in trying to save the Asgardians, but failure. But he's been in so many Thor movies. He's been in well, he hasn't really been in. He's in Avengers. He's been in Infinity Wars shortly, yeah. But Idris Elba did a great job with this character, and I really like him. So, Corey, what was he? Here's your number 5 too.
Here's my number 5. Yeah, I love Idris Elba as well, and he played a great.
Yeah, he's a great Heimdall. Yeah,
so enjoyed him.
I just like his character so much in the Thor movies. Like, even in the bad Thor movie, he was good.
No, I know. It's absolutely.
So,
and like it was actually close between him and Sif, because I just felt like they just did nothing with her after the first movie. Yeah. I was like, they really ruined her character. But she was such a badass in the first movie. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But I put Heimdall on instead of her.
Cool. All right, Tony, what's your number 5?
I had Okoye. I don't know. I just really liked her role in Black Panther. I liked how she was, his right-hand woman, so to speak, in general. And, I'm not saying I agree with it. Like, even when, Killmonger showed up, she sided with him, because she was loyal to Wakanda. I can respect that. I'm not saying I would do that, but I could respect that because, she's
you have to, I mean, what makes, if he's rightfully king, you can't just have people that are going to just jump to whoever they want to, because that's what they decide.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that
it's honorable.
I would argue that she was more interesting than the main character in that movie. I really enjoyed her character quite a bit.
Well, we've talked about this. Like, I think that all the characters in that side characters in that movie were better.
Yeah, but I just
the warmonger. So.
Right, and that's I just like her dynamic. I think she plays off of Black Panther and the other characters well, and she's got an interesting sense of humor. I just remember when she made that quip when Infinity War happened, where she's like, when you said you were opening Wakanda up, I thought that meant something like
Starbucks,
yeah, something like that. It's
I really enjoyed her character. We're gonna have some overlap shortly. Not shortly. We got a little while on my list to get to that one, but her character was surprising because I don't really know the Black Panther story, and I was like, that's very entertaining. To the point where it was like, like I said, I thought that she was more interesting than she's. I'm blanking on Black Panther's actual name. So number 4 for me was Lewis from Ant-Man.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I went comedy on this one. His story in the truth serum chair, like in the chair, I mean, that for me, he was already...
It's not truth serum.
It's not truth serum. I mean, his character, even in the first movie, was it was awesome. And then
Baskin Robbins.
I think he was the best in the second episode, in the second movie.
He was great. Yeah, it's like the whole story with him like bouncing around.
So I picked Lewis at number 4. He's such a funny character that I can't wait for Ant-Man, the third one, if they do it, which I'm sure they will. And he's in that. So Corey, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is actually Nebula. I think Nebula's got like an interesting arc. I really appreciate where she's coming from.
I love that actress.
Looks badass.
I love that actress.
It doesn't hurt that it's Karen Gillan. So, absolutely. And, it's like, with Guardians 2, it really kind of expands on the character more. You gotta get to understand her a little bit better, and then obviously you see her in Infinity War, and then we know she's gonna see her in Endgame stuff. So I'm excited for her. I think that she's been quite a neat character as a side piece there. Yeah.
All right. Tony?
Mine was Yondu, just because I loved his character arc, and especially in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, just brought it for full circle and made me realize, like, damn, he's not just like some, side bit, anti-hero, like, whatever. It's like he has like really interesting character name with Quill, and just father-son
relationship,
weird messed up relationship kind of thing, and just like I loved how it did it, and just his one-liners and stuff, Mary Poppins, and stuff like.
I mean, he was. I mean, that's what's his name, Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
perfect job for this. And I wasn't certain how much I was going to like him in that first movie, but he was so good in the sequel. It was just. I mean, I liked him in the first one as well, but. So good in that second one, like oh my, Mary Poppins, y'all. And I mean, and the self-sacrifice at the end for his character, it was just you know,
maybe your father, but he ain't your daddy.
He ain't your daddy.
I mean, his character came a long way. Yeah, I understand that. Number 4 for you. I mean, he's my number 3.
Ooh,
so
wow,
that's why I started talking, because it ties in so perfectly.
Nice.
Because, yeah, like I said, that just the reasons I just stated for me. 4-3, you know, right there. Major side character that hope we haven't seen the last of, but you know,
I'm okay if we do.
I'm okay if we do too.
I think he had a good send off.
Sure, I think you did a great send off, but you never know with comic book. Any comic book movie, you never know.
Sometimes though, you don't want to bring back something that and then have it go away even worse.
Yeah. The extent of what I would like to, if they did do anything, is like maybe just like an alternate reality sequence where the killed heroes or whatever, like I don't know, doing something.
See,
it's like you would make an appearance there.
Soul Stone, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
The way it looks about this, we might see him in Endgame with everything that has been going on. Like there's so much random time travel / alternate dimension rumors I've been hearing.
Right, exactly. That's why, if it's just like an alternate universe or alternate reality, different multiverse, whatever, I'm fine with that. I don't want to get into that stereotypical comic stuff where it's like a character dies and then they come back and it kind of like takes away from the
it takes away from the death in that movie. So gotcha. But yeah, he's my number 3. So yeah, he's got some points now.
Okay.
We have overlap. This is we have a lot of side characters to choose from.
We have more overlap, I'm sure.
Number 3, Corey, for you.
My number 3 is Shuri. I think that I mean, obviously, when I was thinking side characters, like, well, Black Panther, obviously, for me, because I felt like every side character was better than the main characters in that movie. And I was like, which one do I want to pick? I didn't want to put like multiple from one movie if I could avoid it. And I think that she was the most fun. Obviously, I think that she's a really cool character, just being so smart and basically like she knows she's so smart. And it's like basically she's like, you got another white boy to fix up for me.
Yeah, the humor was so good.
And basically all the tech stuff is her ideas and her designs. It's like pretty neat. So yeah, I think that she's pretty badass, and I'm looking forward to seeing where she falls in Endgame, because we know she got dusted.
Yeah, I'm really she just barely missed my list. I do like the character a lot, but for me, I'm hoping to see more of her in the next phase or phases of the MCU, because I know eventually in the comics she does become a Black Panther herself.
Right.
I'd love to see her.
Such a smart character. I could see that. But go on.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just want to see her, adopted to a role like that. And we can get into this in the theories after Endgame, but I would love to see like I don't know, like a Young Avengers or something like that, where like Shuri, and maybe that's where Peter goes for a little bit until whatever stuff like that. I think she's a really cool character, and I just want
potential for her.
Yeah, exactly. And like I do want to see her like meet like Peter Park. Like I think it would be really cool because they're both teenagers and just like
they're both like Jesus.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Meet up.
Bounce off each other.
Tony, what was your number 3?
My number 3 was Peggy Carter. Just
because mine just a little bit.
Yeah, I had to think about it a little bit because obviously it's been a while since she made an appearance, but I really liked her character in Captain America. And I know it's sort of cheating because she had the miniseries, but she's so influential on Steve Rogers' development as Captain America and helped him be the hero that he is currently. And I liked how she was never like a damsel in distress or just needing to be rescued. She's a strong female character. Plus, after all those events, all that tragedy, she wound up founding S.H.I.E.L.D., which is just pretty awesome. So love the character. The actress was amazing. So here we'll be seeing her in Endgame too. So
I think we might. I think it's going to be open the floodgates. It really is. How they're going to fit this in just 3 hours, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2 for me is where Okie.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, that was number 2. Because as you were saying, like I really like that character to the point where I thought that she stole the movie in my opinion. And Shuri is the arguable one too, but like you, Corey, I only wanted to try to do one. So I picked Okie because I feel like her just badass character that just so awesome to see in the last sequence. And even in Infinity War, it was like really cool to see her character back. So I just, number 2 for me without a doubt. Number 1 was easy for me, which we're going to get to. But yeah, number 1 is arguable. This is where I might get some, I don't know. We'll find out. But Corey, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Yondu.
Oh, Yondu is.
I know what you said. If I can help
it. Yondu makes the list, man.
Yeah, no, he really turned the corner, obviously, in Guardians 2, but there was really a lot of potential, and I loved his his reluctant space pirate. Like he was like this badass, like on the ship, but then like behind closed doors, this big softy, and like his arrow that he has is so much cooler in the movies than in the comics. It's just, like the whistling thing he does.
That was cool. Yeah.
And you get to see him really develop as a leader and a father figure in the second movie. And again, like the first time I watched that movie, I didn't like it as much, but yeah, on second viewings, third viewings, you really get to see all of the,
subtleties and nuances.
Exactly, little subtleties that and different stuff that they laid initially, like the groundwork that they planted in early on in the film, and then later on it comes like back around, and appreciated that, and just the parallels between the different people, and obviously his real father, and his biological father, and his real father, you could say. He was just a great character all around, and I think he had a great send off. I would hope they don't bring him back, because good way to remember him by.
Yeah, definitely.
I loved how he actually got that Ravager send off. Because we talk about like expectations for movies and stuff like that, and like tropes and whatnot, but I actually didn't see it. Like it was such an offhand comment by Sylvester Stallone's character in the beginning,
right?
Part of that movie where he's like, "You'll never see the colors of the Ravagers fly over your funeral," or whatever like that, and you're just like, okay, yeah, it's I guess a big military whatever group thing, and when it happens at the end, you're like, oh, like that was like the one thing that really mattered to him. You're just like. It's like, damn, okay, like, all right. So yeah, just like Yondu, like,
yeah. All right, Tony, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Nick Fury, the spy of spies.
Fury was my original list. Fury was a number 2 for me, and then I overhauled everything. Like I remember changing it.
So for me, it was like I was like, I can't put him in side characters. He's like.
He's still a side character. No, he is a side character. I backed the Tony up on this one. He's a side character.
I'm not saying you guys have to, but like the way I viewed it was like non-Avenger role, non-Guardian role. Where it's just
because once he's in Captain Marvel, I was like, he's full on not a side character.
Yeah, I could see that. But I was just that's how my criteria went. But
I understand.
I'm gonna get some flack for my number 1, but all right.
Colson, motherfucker.
No, it's not Colson. It's not Colson.
It's Bucky, isn't it? But no, Nick Fury. I mean, let's just start. Perfect casting. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson
again. Like they followed the character off of him in the comic, and then he's like, "Well, can you, let's just do. We'll just do this. We'll just make him."
You scratch my back, scratch yours. Like he plays that character so well, and it's just awesome seeing this hard ass super spy government agent just be
Samuel Jackson
I mean
his attitude the swagger he's got a swagger to him.
Swagger, and like no matter what happens, like you take Winter Soldier, and it's like the man always has like objectives beneath objectives, and it just there's always missions behind missions, and he's like the man with the plan. It's just like yep, you're right. Like I keep people I trust very close to the chest and stuff like that. And even when he gets fucked up in that movie and he comes back to do the retinal scan, like he just walks off that helicopter, that strut like you're talking about. He has that one line where it's like you got to keep both eyes on me, and like shows off the clawed eye and stuff like that. Just like that's such a badass moment. Just like
it's such a badass moment that I thought about once he gets his eye scratched. I'm like, doesn't make it so badass anymore.
But that's the point. Like that's the best part about that. Nobody will ever repeat it. He will never tell that story.
But how was that? You're right. Like because I rewatched Winter Soldier, and it's like it's like like can't scratch that shit out. But he just plays that character so well. It's just awesome seeing him, and I love having that dynamic of the character that helps the heroes behind the scenes, because he doesn't have any superpowers of his own or anything like that. So he gets them together and gives them the resources that they need.
Yeah. So, all right, my number 1 is Bucky. Yeah, It is.
Yeah, not a side character in my view, so I did put him on there.
No, he is a side character, and I will argue 100% that he's a side character because he has not had his own movie. He has not been a major character except for in the Winter Soldier, where he was kind of the villain, but not the major villain. So you couldn't make him. He wasn't the main character there. And then he was a side character in Black Panther. Well, of Infinity War. When has he been a major character?
Civil War is pretty big too.
Even then, side character. He was the motivation.
Again, like he was still like a focal point. So I don't know. I couldn't do it.
No, absolutely, in my mind, he is the best side character. Now, will he stay a side character? Probably not. But as of right now, in my mind, he's a side character, and he's fantastic. He is. I
mean, in that argument, you can make Black Widow a side character.
You could do it, but Bucky's still way better.
I wouldn't though.
But Bucky is amazing. Like as a psychic, like he is awesome, and I really am looking forward to him being probably the next Captain America. But we're not sure. I just, Winter Soldier for me is my favorite Marvel movie, and him being not the major guy, a side character, means he's my number one. So that's brilliant. But go on, Corey.
I can understand.
Yeah, no. Corey was your number one.
So when I thought of side characters, the first person I thought of, and just because he's just so random as far as like not being a major character at all, it was the first person that popped into my mind. And Jim mentioned him already, is Lewis.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's my number one because I'm like side characters of side character. Like he's a nobody really in the Marvel universe, but he's just such a fun presence in these movies, and every time he comes on screen he's like hilarious, and you're gonna have a good scene with him. And yeah, especially in Ant-Man and the Wasp, he's just with the guys coming and the confusion at first of like who they are, and then like the truth serum stuff. And I do love how he tells a story that takes forever. Just to, like, you could have just said 1 + 1 is 2, but he has to go like, well, if you have all this stuff going on and then you have this going on, but it's like. And then you finally, it's like, just get to the point. It's like, he works so well.
The actor, I don't know the actor, but his deliveries are just so good.
It's good. And and he's not obviously he's not a hero. He's not a superhero. He's not a villain. He's not like anybody at all. It's just like side characters. He's absolutely a side character. And again, so he was the first thing that popped in my mind. So he was my number one for that reason.
Tony?
Can't believe I'm the only one that's going to have this guy on the list, but I still got to go with my boy, Agent Coulson.
I couldn't do it either because I don't consider him a side character anymore because he's got his own show.
Yeah, the show thing for me is what cut him out.
Yeah, okay, I mean, I can see that.
Today, that's what happened. I was like, that's it.
I mean, I could see that. It just, even with, if you take out the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think he deserves the respect just for that phase one. I mean, he was so instrumental getting he assembled them. And, just like I was saying with Nick Fury, like he's a hard ass behind the scenes. I want to say Coulson complements that well because, he's the, a good cop, so to speak, figuratively and literally speaking with, he believes in the good in people and, just knows that there's sometimes you have to fight, but you have to have that, the tools and means to do so. And just, the way that he not uncharacteristic, but holistically believed in all the heroes, from Captain America and Iron Man. Like he believed in the best of each of them, even though they may have not have given him any reason to do so. And I just think that speaks volumes to his character because it's like, having somebody believe like the best in you, just like that's kind of like awe-inspiring. Like why do you care so much? And just like world needs heroes and stuff like that. Yeah. So Coulson just lives up to that, and really hope we get to see him at Endgame next week. So
I think so, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Huh? We won't see anybody from S.H.I.E.L.D. besides him.
We need Daisy.
I know we need Daisy.
Daisy. Oh my God. And the problem is for me is I'm not seeing this until Sunday. You guys are gonna just explode if that happens.
I won't let you know. Even if it happens, I won't let you know. I will.
You gotta hold that. Yeah, I'm not seeing it till Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Wait.
The bet was it had to be more than Coulson.
It was not. I knew that Coulson had the best shot.
It was someone other than Coulson. It couldn't be Coulson. Couldn't be.
It could not be Coulson. Yes.
Right.
Yes. because
according to you, Jim, this is the second part of this movie's not finished. Your words.
My words were Avengers 3. However, I am giving you guys, because I know this is not happening.
Saying Avengers 3 wasn't finished.
Yes. Because, yes, in my words. And that's why I am giving you guys this extra movie to do this. Unprecedented courtesy by me, but it's happening because I have that much confidence in my bet. That much confidence. All right. So our list basically looks like this. Okie has 5 points. Coulson has got 5 points, but he was a number 1. So does Bucky. Yondu's at 9. I would be perfectly fine with making Yondu the number 1 side character in the Marvel universe for us. Lewis was at 7 points, and I'm perfectly fine with Lewis at number 2. So it's really a matter of how you want to shake out the rest.
That's fine.
Okie is. What was your number 1, Tony? Coulson was on my list originally, so we could do. Okay, I'm good with this. I'm going to suggest Yondu, Lewis, Coulson, Okie, Bucky. Only because Bucky was my number 1. Okay. I would even take Heimdall because we have 2 votes for Heimdall.
Yeah. Well, there's 2. Oh wait, Okie was okay. Yeah, 2 was.
Yeah. But I would do Yondu, Lewis, Coulson, Okie, and then somebody. Who would you put in the 5th spot?
Well, if you're number 1, you can't not be on there.
I understand, but I do understand the controversy. But I thought he was a side character.
It's fine.
That's all right. It's super fun. We're not.
I guess
I
know.
Favorite crime movies. Like list Dark Knight. It's like what?
Yeah.
And I didn't consider Coulson. Like Coulson, Nick Fury, and Bucky were not considerations for me because
I got you.
Okay.
No, I got you. Maybe
they definitely were obviously great characters. I don't want to slight them in any sense, but just for it's like almost their star power and the fact that Nick Fury does have a starring role in the movie. Coulson has his his TV show, and Bucky I felt as like a major character in multiple movies.
Yeah. All right, so our list is Yondu at number 1, Lewis at 2, Coulson at 3, Okie at 4, and Bucky at 5. There's your top 5.
Lewis is out of nowhere.
Lewis at number 2 out of all these super powered heroes. Well,
Coulson, that's what I mean. That's what that's the thing is that's what made him so the epitome of the side.
I got you. And he's a great side character. That's why he made my list too. So, yeah. All right. And that's going to wrap up this episode. Next week is a huge one. Next week we are going to cover Phase 4 and our thoughts on Endgame. It's going to be a long one, so we'll probably a little less news, but we will be talking about that a lot. Yeah, predictions. So look for that. That's almost going to be like a bonus round, essentially. That basically is going to be what we're going to have. We'll have a little bit of news in the beginning and what we've been up to, but look for a lot of Endgame coming up next week. Tune into the Gamecast if you haven't yet. If you're watching these out of order, I don't know. We usually do the Moviecast first, but if you're watching these out of order, tune into the Gamecast. If not, tune in next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at allycangeek. Like us on Facebook and hit that subscribe button for YouTube. See you later.